the first decision you need to make when you're thinking about buying a hot tub is, do I want a 13 amp, which is classed as plug and play, or do I want a 32 amp, which is hardwired? Most people have never even heard of these two different types of power. So this is me telling you briefly the difference between the two. 13 amp or plug and play will only ever have one pump, which will service all of the jets within the tub. That means you won't see a 13 amp tub with 173 jets, because it couldn't possibly power them all. And if you do see, run. 32 amp tubs will have a minimum of 2 pumps. One pump will service one half of the tub and another the next. It could have 3, 4 or 5. So you will get more power from your jets in a 32 amp tub. The other thing is a plug and play will only ever have a 2 kilowatt heater, and a hardwired will have a 3 kilowatt heater. This is kind of 6 of one, half a dozen of another. So both will heat to 40 degrees, but the 13 amp at 2 kilowatts will get there slowly, and the 3 kilowatt will get there quicker. However, 3 kilowatts is 3 times your unit charge, and 2 kilowatts is 2 times your unit charge. So slower but cost less, and quicker that costs more, means they kind of level each other out. So I never worry about the heater side of it. So for me personally, I would park that, not such a consideration. The main thing that people have an issue with your plug and plays is that they are not capable of heating and jetting at the same time. So you sit in your hot tub, you put the button on for your jets, your heater turns off. Now in a 32 amp, that is not the case. You will be able to have some jets on and the heater. Depending on how powerful your jets are, your pumps, you may not be able to have them all on and the heater, but you would definitely be able to have at least one pump servicing jet on at the same time as your heater. So you're looking at a reduction of temperature in the water itself. Now in something like this, an acrylic solid tub that's well insulated, you are not going to expect to lose more than 1 to 2 degrees an hour. The colder it is outside, the quicker obviously you will lose temperature in the water. As we all know, heat rises, and when the lid is off, your temperature is dissipating. So if you think that you're going to spend a lot of time in your tub with the jets on, then a 13 amp probably isn't for you, because it will get cold quicker than you will want it to. The other side of it is your actual power supply. So if you have a 13 amp, that is just a 3-pin plug like your telly or your toaster, which means if you've got a waterproof outside socket, you can just plug straight into that. We would recommend 16 amp over 13. So that is your blue, like a caravan connector. They are very waterproof. A 13 amp plug itself is a bit of a weak spot. So whilst it only needs a 13 amp power supply, we would recommend just stepping up a little to a 16 amp. If you're going down the hardwired route, you need a dedicated power supply by an electrician from the consumer unit in your house. So the board that's got all your fuses, you know, downstairs lights, upstairs sockets, that kind of thing, running from that to where the hot tub is going to go. So depending on the distance and complexity of that will depend greatly on how much it costs to do that. So try and have a think about how you're going to use the tub. What do you want it to achieve for you? Are you looking at hydrotherapy? Are you looking at pain relief? Are you looking at easing sleep? Are you just wanting something to sit in and chill for half an hour every now and again? And it will help you decide which power supply tub you need. It's the first decision you have to make on your hot tub purchasing journey. Now, we have never had a customer buy a 32 amp and wish that they'd had a 13, but we have had some wish that they bought a 32 when they had a 13. So think carefully. Nothing is undoable. So we also have customers that buy a 13 amp to start with and then in time trade it in and upgrade to a 32 amp because they know that a hot tub is for them for the future. So if we can help with any questions at all, 13 amp versus 32 amp, those are the basics. 13 can't heat and jet at the same time, and you are capping what it is going to cost you to run because it can't have the heater and the jets on at the same time. 32 amp, at least one of your pumps will be able to service your jets while the heater is on, which means it will cost more to operate when it's in use. Won't cost more to heat, but when it's in use. So weigh them up, shout if we can help, and good luck choosing a hot tub.